Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to show y'all how I painted this Dollar Tree wood cutout house, and I have already painted one of them just so I can show y'all exactly what it will look like. So it's originally started out looking like this, and when I purchased them, I purchased two of them, so I've already off camera went ahead and I painted this one. I added some snow to it, and I also added some little gumdrops. So let me show you what you need for this project. I have 3 different types of paint. So I have just the apple barrel black, I have the apple barrel white, and then I have an apple barrel and brown oxide, which is like a milk chocolate color. Along with that, I just have some matte Mod Podge. And I also use 3 of these 4 set of brush pens. The packaging looks like this, and I've already, of course, used them, so I took them out of the packaging. We will not be using the blue, but I will be using the green, yellow, and the red. And then of course I have my paint brushes here. And I also have this little garland that is like a little gumdrop garland. And this was part of the My Little Christmas set. So this comes with the little Christmas tree little set where you find like the little mini ornaments, and this was at Hobby Lobby. And then I also have the buffalo snow as well. Let's see, so that is everything for this project. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna put this one over here to the side, and we'll go ahead and work on this one. I have some of that snow here that came off of that other project. So I'm going to start first with the yellow brush pen. I'm sure you can use paint. I did find that this worked really well. And all right, so I went ahead and I set this up so you could see it as I was working on this one. But I went ahead and I started with the inside parts of the windows to make it look like that it has some light inside there. So I just went ahead and I took my yellow and I went into each one of the insides of the windows. I just found that it was simpler just to go ahead and get this part out of the way. So I'll quickly do that real quick here. And these paint pens are real easy to work with. They kind of remind me of like a marker, and but they do have a real long tip to them. Now I did find with this yellow, it did kind of get a little bit smushed, but the paint is still coming out, and it works just fine. So let me go in here real good here. And then I'll show you what the inside of those look like. Okay. So I have that there. And then, let's see, we will go with, we will go ahead and go with the brown paint. So I am going to go ahead and get a good bit of brown paint out here. And I'm going to do like a staining effect. So what I did with this one is I took my brown paint, and then on another little side I added some water. So let me do that real quick here. And then I went ahead and I mixed them. So let me move this over. So I took a little bit of the brown paint and I put it in another little section. I added some water to it, and I wanted it more of like a stain instead of an actual brown paint on there, so it would thin it out. So I'm going to go ahead and paint all of the inside part of the house. And I'm even gonna go over the where the lights are at, because we're just gonna glue those other pieces on top anyways. And then also, I'm gonna go over where the Christmas trees are at, because when I use this green paint pen, it'll go nicely right on top. I didn't have any issue with that whatsoever. So let me go ahead and get this all painted, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so there it is with my brown paint on there. And at the very end, I will go back in another time with some more brown to make it a little bit darker. But that's what I have there so far. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and I am going to take my black paint, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna put it right around the windows, so I can trim the windows out. And I'm only gonna bring the black paint all the way down to where it meets the snow, because I don't want to cover that up. I want to use white paint right there and then add my buffalo snow to there. So this is how far I'm going to go down. That way you get an idea. So let me go ahead and finish off my other two windows here. Sometimes, y'all, I find that so easy just to go ahead and use from the cap. I just shake it up, and then if I'm not using but a tiny bit, I have some in the cap here, and I just use it right straight from the cap. It works perfectly fine instead of taking it and squirting it out into a paint palette. So that's what I find to be pretty easy for me. All right, so I'm gonna come back in later and trim out the door, but for right now, I'm going to go ahead and move on, and I am going to use the white paint, and I'm going to go ahead and paint where all the snow should be at. So the roof, and then the window sills, and then I'm going to paint down here at the bottom as well. Let's see, let's go ahead and I'm going to use this other paintbrush. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start painting this, and then I will come back again, so that way you don't have to sit through this full thing. And I'll show you what this looks like, and then we'll go ahead and move on. Okay, so I went ahead and I painted the snow on. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paint the door, and I'm going to paint the trees and the wreath on the door, and then I'll show you what that looks like. So let me grab some more black paint here. This one's a little bit harder to see. I don't see the lines in the middle there for the door. So I'm just going to go ahead and go across myself and just create a line. Okay. So there's the doorway there. And then let me grab my paint markers here. And I'm going to go ahead and color in my bow. And then I will go ahead, and color in my wreath. I'm sorry you're having to look at this from this angle. I know I mentioned in a previous video that I don't have a camera when I actually can, or I don't have the option to actually look down on my projects. So I'll just have to do so much at a time and then show you all what it looks like. All right, let me fill this in real quick and then I'll be right back. All right, so I have all that painted with the trees and the wreath, and these paint markers, they're okay, but the problem is that the more that you paint with them, the ends keep getting smushed up, and it wasn't the best. I mean, I made it work, but I like to tell y'all these things, you know. I mean, it served the purpose, and it worked okay. But the reason why I used that was because the fact that you do have that long tip to that. Let me see. I'm not sure if you can see that. Yeah. Okay, so it has a long tip. So I thought, well, you know, that would work in such small spaces. And it did work okay, but the more that I used it, it did get smushed. So I just want to mention that. But I'm going to go ahead and glue down all my little gumdrops. And these little sections here on here they look like Christmas lights. And these little tiny gumdrops, they fit down on here perfectly. I mean, they cover it. They're the same exact shape, so they worked out perfectly on here. So I just went ahead and went along and I lined them all up, and I spread them all out so that they would be even with the color selection. And I'm just going to go ahead and get all of these glued down. And then once all these are glued down, then we're going to go ahead and go in with our snow. So I will get all these glued, and then I'll show you what this looks like. Ooh, my little strands are going everywhere. And show you what this looks like, and then we'll, like I said, move on to the little snow part. And then I may add a little bit more of the brown paint to make it a little bit of a darker color. But this was a very simple project. I'm not sure if anyone has picked up these little wood houses. I know that these came out pretty early when all the Christmas decorations first started coming out. I know a lot of the craft supplies come out first before they start getting out all the ornaments and all the decor pieces and things like that. So I did pick this up pretty early, and I'm just now getting to this. I do have many other projects, and I'm trying to fit in as many as I can. Matter of fact, some of my projects I'm probably going to put multiple into one video, so that way I can go ahead and get them out to y'all quickly. And as well, some of the projects are pretty simple and won't take long per project. So I will probably include several projects into one. So that's what I have there so far. So it looks real cute already. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Mod Podge and I am going to just brush right on the sections that have the white paint. And I'm going to go a little bit of a section at a time. Grab my little snow here. And I'm just going to layer it on there real good and pack it on there. And then I'll knock off the excess. I'm trying to get every little area and put it on nice and thick. I'm going to use some of my excess that I have here. And I just love the way that it looks, like just that snowy look on there. I think it just, I love the dimension on here between the snow and the little gumdrops that are supposed to look like the lights. When I first saw these pieces, I thought gingerbread. Now, not everyone may think that, but I guess because I'm going with a gingerbread theme in my kitchen, which I will place it somewhere. I'm not sure quite where. I have a couple of ideas in mind where I think I'm going to try and place these, but I think it will look real cute in my kitchen with all my other little pieces that I have. So hopefully, if you've already picked up these houses, you can do something similar as this, or you'll be able to still find them in your stores. I have seen a few lingering here and there behind in certain stores, so it's a possibility you may still can find them. All right, so we're almost to the end here. Let me move this hot glue gun out of the way. Sit back over here in my way because I don't want to accidentally touch it and burn myself. Okay. I'm trying to use up my excess hair that I have. All right. Okay, so that's what we have so far with the roof. Can you see it okay there? Hopefully you can. And then I'm going to go ahead and brush around the windows here. I got some glue in the house. That's okay, it'll dry. There we go. I found this to be such a fun little project. Very simple, but fun. Scoot that over. Still have some glue on my paintbrush here. It's a little bit messy. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the bottom part here. Like it's snowing down on the ground in front of the house. are almost complete here. Okay, set that down there. Oh, that's just so adorable. Okay, so that's what, let me move this up a little bit. That's what that looks like. Let me see if I can come in a little bit closer. There we go. Now I do have some, sorry, trying to fix that. I noticed it in the camera. All right, let me move in so you can see it good. I think that just turned out so adorable. And like I said, this one is just, I guess, a little bit darker than my second one here. So I might just go back in and add a little bit more paint to make it just a tiny bit darker. But there's gives you an idea of the way that they look. And like I said, I hope that you can find these yourself, or if you already have these, this will give you some sort of idea on how you can paint these. And they'll be cute to hang up someplace. And so hopefully that gives you some sort of inspiration. So let me move all this to the side. I'll put this down here. All right, y'all. Well, that is it on this project. Go ahead and get my mess all cleaned up here. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. Like I said, it was very simple, but it was, I had a good time with making these. And I just wanted to go ahead and say to y'all that if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already and you're interested, please hit that subscribe button along with that notification bell where you will be notified when I have a new upload. And I just want to say thanks for watching. Bye.